So, when it comes to doing on page optimization for a personal injury attorney, what you want to consider is when you're searching for the term you're trying to rank for, Google is going to bold certain words that it thinks are relevant to the search query. Those are the terms you want to be using on your page to help it rank. Google's not bolding those for no reason. The other thing that you want to consider is when we're doing the on page optimization, it does not have to be this skyscraper article. What you can do is we can place all of the on page optimization below the fold. Now, so when I say below the fold, what do I mean? So when you first visit a page, really anything below like half a scroll is what would be considered below the fold. When you have these skyscraper articles, what happens is that you've got like 6 or 7 or 8 page scrolls to actually get to the bottom or like the footer. So what you wanna do is you rather wanna use accordions is something you click and then it'll expand and there's more content behind it. So a good illustration of this is if you have a about section or a team section, what you can do is behind each of your people on your team, you can have it to when it's clicked, it flips, and all of a sudden there's this hidden giant wall of text. And that is a zone that we can get our SEO on page optimization in. Not only that, what you can do is you can have a review wall. So, what do I mean by a review wall? So, a common thing what you'll see across all of these pages, not only the pages that I make, but across your competitors, things you'll just see across the internet is that people will have these testimonial sections, right? These testimonial sections will usually be like a carousel. So, like every second, what have you, it will rotate, new carousel, new testimonial. There's a name, it's in quotes, there's a dash, etc. What I like to do is I will go and I will pull review data off of your Google business profile. I will then turn that into what I would consider a review wall. So in this review wall, I will pull the image of the person that left the review. So it's not just a blank image, right? We can actually get an understanding of, oh, this is an actual person's review. I'll put their name, we'll put the day the review was left, and then we'll also put the review content, right? In this review content, we can bold certain terms, which will help us rank the page. Not only that, we can get those LSI terms or those entities on page because those are the terms or those are the things that are going to commonly occur when people talk about your service or their experience with your service. And in this review wall, what I'll do is we'll have a section so they would have to go to the section to scroll it. It's not a skyscraper article where you're constantly scrolling to get through the reviews. They would have to actually scroll inside of this section to scroll down all your reviews. So 80% of it's going to be hidden, but that 80% that's hidden is our SEO. The entities, the LSI terms, the bolded terms, what have you, that is what's preventing your site from ranking. What we can do is we can optimize it in those sections to help you rank. This is also great is if they have photos, because then we can also put keywords in the file name of the photo. We can add keywords in the alt text of the photo to increase our rankings or increase our on page to help that page rank in search. So we have not only that, then we also have FAQ. So with frequently asked questions, what we can do is very similar. We can have these accordions that will place the answers to the questions, right? But then also we can get a little verbose in them. What do I mean by that is that instead of it just being like a one line answer, we can get three sentences, we can get a paragraph, we can get two paragraphs in there if we want. 99% of the time, nobody's reading it. Nobody goes to your accordion to read it. No one clicks on it, right? So by having it in these accordions and not having a skyscraper article, what we're achieving is we're giving the majority, overwhelming majority of consumers of your content, your services, we're not taking away their experience, right? We're not feeding them this skyscraper article. What we're doing is we're having these, or which what are going to be short pages, but in reality is that if you were to expand all of the content and place it on a normal page, it would actually probably be 8 to 9 scrolls. But because we have this optimization or structure of our pages, what we do is we don't remove the experience of our users. We place all of the on page optimization in a way that our end consumer or end customer client isn't going to have a terrible experience on our page because we're trying to optimize for SEO. No, instead, what we're going to do is it's going to be a 2 to 3 page scroll, and we're going to get all of our on page optimization in that way by having it behind our team page, right? When they go to click each team member, what's going to happen is that there's going to be that wall of text that's scrollable that is not just going to be keyword stuff. It's actually going to be descriptive of that individual team member. How long have they been doing this? Where did they graduate? What is their specific role that they specialize in? What do they know about? Right? Not only that, then we can also go through there again and bold those terms to help us rank the page. So when it comes to getting entities, these LSI terms on page, what you have to consider is that all of these terms, like LSI terms or entities, really what you want to do is these are just terms that commonly occur when you're talking to, think of it when you're talking to your team members, right? There are going to be certain words that you use frequently that also commonly co occur with each other to other similar words when you're having a conversation about your service. Those are the terms you want to use on your page. That's all those are. They're like entities and LSI terms. It's just the common words that would occur when we're speaking about the service to other lawyers or other attorneys or our team members, to prospects, to potential clients, current clients. Those words that you use to describe the service or to have just normal conversations about it are what pretty much entities and LSI terms are. So, site speed for a personal injury attorney, it a lot of people will say that it's a ranking factor. What I've experienced is that it's not, but what it is, it's a conversion factor. What you have to consider is the person that is not at home on Wi-Fi, right? So what you have to consider is the person that just got rear-ended or just got in a car accident. They're on a 3G network and they are searching for your service. When they click your website URL and you have this ginormous video on the page that's not lazy loaded, that's not compressed, and is going to be the first thing that their 3G network tries to load, it's gonna take a minute or 2, and they're just gonna click off, and they're gonna go to somebody else's page. So, when you think about site speed, that's the person you need to think about. It's the person that is not on a Wi-Fi network, they don't have 4G, they're on a 3G network on their phone, right? You have to think a majority of the time, when these people are searching for your services, they're not at home. They're normally out and about on their phones on 3G networks. So, what you wanna make sure is that your site is properly optimized to serve that customer. What you also need to consider is that Google is aware of how large your site is. So it is going to serve the lighter sites in the search results page when someone is searching for that service and they're on a 3G network or what have you.